Hi, I'm James Eade of the Eade Foundation, and welcome to episode 55 of the Chess Files. The answers are out there. Now, what's the question of the day? Well, the question is who is the winner of the Arthur Award this year? And the Eade Foundation, I started it shortly after my father's death. His name was Arthur Eade. And so we have an Arthur Award that we give out annually for the best essay that describes the award is for chess excellence, and the best essay that we read that is submitted to the foundation, we give $1,000 award to that person who submitted the essay. And before I tell you who it is this year, a little bit more about Eade Foundation. You know, we're in many countries, and we believe in it's chess without borders. We believe in building communities through chess. And so we support those who cannot afford the resources to get started to build a chess community wherever they are. Whatever country you're from, whatever language you speak, you know, you can build a chess community. And if you lack the resources to just get the chess equipment to get it started, that's where the foundation can be of service, can be of help. And so if you know of somebody in need anywhere around the world, we just don't care. And we'll support you if we can. And the Arthur Award is one of the things that we do just because my father got me started in chess. And I think it's one of those things that I can do to pay him back, because chess has been a great ride for me. And it's been a lifelong activity of mine since I learned it. And of course, you know, once I started to beat him, we never played again. And we just, but he got me, he got a colleague of his at the math, as a math professor at the local college, and he would come by, pick me up, and take me to the college chess club, and then drop me off. And that was where I found out about U.S. chess and their ability to hold tournaments, and they had ratings and all this kind of stuff. So it was a good thing. The first Arthur Award went to then I.M. Mishra. And the next year, I got to see him at the U.S. Open, and he was a GM with his cover on the cover of Chess Life. And so, you know, that was a great investment from the Foundation. Of course, he gets all the credit. But the next winner was Alexi Rude from UT Dallas, who has done a book. It is now published by McFarland on the U.S. women's champions, the history of them, which is something that we all deserve to know more about. And this helped her do her research, compile the evidence for this. So this is part of what we're doing. But this year's winner, I'm going to bring you guys on screen now. Hi, and I've got Jason and Jason's dad. So would you introduce yourselves? Jason's dad first.
My name is Liang. Yeah, we live in upstate New York. Yeah, Jason now is just had his 15th birthday. So when we made the application, Jason was 14 years old.
Excellent. So I'm just going to get you full screen here, if you don't mind, because you were partly cut off there. But thank you for that, and you took stole some of my thunder, because I was going to ask you where you live. But who's that next to you?
Oh, I'm Jason, and we live in Potsdam, New York currently.
Okay. So I'm going to scratch off my first question I had for you. But were you born there?
No.
No, where were you born?
We moved to quite a few places.
Okay. All right. But now Potsdam, is that on the eastern part of New York?
No, it's in like the very northern part.
Okay. Are the Finger Lakes near you? Or is that below you?
I mean, I know we're near the Adirondack Mountains.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So I can picture where you are. All right. So my producer has given me a list of questions to ask you. So Jason, what is your current rating?
USCF for FIDE.
Yeah, both of them, if you would, if you remember.
2499 USCF, so like almost 2500, and then FIDE I'm 2419.
2419. Okay, so you've got your IM title. That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, and you needed a 2400 PDA rating to get that. It's part of the requirements, right? And so to be your next goal would be Grandmaster, I would assume. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so you've got to raise your rating to 2500. Is that right?
Yes.
So you've got your work cut out for you, I would think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it may seem like only 80 or so rating points, but that's like a lot at this level.
Yes. 80 points from 1500 to 1580 is one thing, but going from 2400 to 2500, it's amazing. It's an amazing challenge. And do you have confidence that you can do it? You gonna give me your game face? Show me your game face.
Mm-hmm.
You do? You think you can do it?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure I'll do it.
You gotta think it. You gotta have confidence in yourself, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Jason is trying to claim his GM title by the end of this year, hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ambitious. And good. The best of luck to you, man, because I never got my IM title. You know, not that I was shooting for it. I was happy to get FM. And it was like one of those things where I knew how much effort it would take to get just the IM title. And I wasn't willing to pay the price. And you sound like you are. So, Jason, what was your rating, say, 20 years ago? Oh, wait, that's a stupid question. Wait, why did you put this? Oh, I'm getting yelled at by my producer. I should have skipped over it. He's saying, oh, okay, never mind. That's between me and my producer. And we have a hard time sometimes with each other. But
20 years ago, I did not know how to play chess either.
You didn't know how to play. Okay. So how did you guys get started in chess? Is that an okay question?
For me, I guess I basically got started for an after-school program in my elementary school.
Beautiful. Love to hear that.
Yeah, and then like shortly after, I guess I played my first tournament when I was 9.
Holy smokes. How did you feel when you were 9 years old walking into a tournament?
I didn't really know what was going on. I mean, it was just a scholastic tournament, so a bunch of other little kids as well.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. So this question is for Jason's dad. When did you realize that he had talent for the game? I mean, he just wasn't interested, but he was talented at it too.
I would say we feel thankful to the U.S. chess website system, especially the USCF rating system. Jason mentioned that when he was 9, he joined the first scholastic tournament. And that tournament went extremely well. I remember Jason scored all wins. And so as his first tournament, I think definitely he got interest by beating other players. And also, and that was the first time we were notified that, Jason got some official USCF rating. So that's where we got to know the US database about the other chess players, etc.
Right.
So we realized that many other younger players actually were almost 2100 USCF, for instance. Right. And, and some players were even much younger than Jason because Jason started relatively late. I think so after that, we did not become serious. In those days, actually, I was about to take my sabbatical. So at that time, we were living in Virginia, and then I took my sabbatical in Colorado. So we lived in Colorado for about 6 months, and Jason was involved in the Denver Chess Club.
Shout out to Denver Chess Club.
Hanging around with a lot of adult players.
Yeah,
I think those players definitely inspired Jason to play at the club level, I would say. Right. And Jason quickly got his rating from below 1,000 to around 14 100. And then at the end of my sabbatical, also we traveled from Colorado to Las Vegas for the North American Open. One of the very first series tournament.
Right.
And got involved, and so we traveled to Las Vegas, and just 1 or 2 days before the tournament, and Jason was extremely sick. We thought we should withdraw Jason. But Jason insisted on playing, and he did not play well during the first 2 rounds, and we thought maybe we should really withdraw and just relax. Chess is too tough. But Jason claimed that he should win the next all 5 rounds, and surprisingly he did, and. So eventually he scored 5.5 out of 7 and won a big prize from North American Open. And,
there's a big jump, knowing from my experience, from scholastic club level play to a tournament like that North American Open.
That was his first time in reaching 1700 USCF.
Yes.
Yes, and since then, we started to, more seriously involve him. And for instance, we started to look for a coach and other things. I should say that in Colorado, Jason benefited a lot in interacting with a former Colorado chess champion. His name is Christopher Peterson. And it was Chris who introduced Jason to play blindfold, for instance. Mm-hmm. And Chris really taught Jason a lot about opening theory, also endgame play, etc. I was very amateur, or just knowing basic rules about playing chess. I think Chris really got him into the business. I think, after returning from Colorado to Virginia, Jason did not have difficulty in terms of improving his chess rating steadily, and eventually quickly become a national master.
Right. Yeah. So Jason, is that a good recap? Your dad give you justice there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would like you to talk instead.
No. That's not what I meant. I just meant that do you have anything to say about, how did like Christopher, guys like that, Chris, help you? How important was it to have someone like that in your development?
I mean, well, I guess like back in those days, I didn't really like study chess that much. So I needed someone to guide me. And he was a national master, so I mean he had like coaching experience already, so I guess that really helped.
See, I grew up in a different world entirely. There weren't such things as chess coaches, and I'm not saying I'm sorry about this at all, but it's so wonderful to hear how there was an after-school program, because there was none in my day. I got started in 1972 because of Bobby Fischer, obviously, and I started to play in tournaments and found out about it. And when I found out, and you said you were old at 9. Well, I was 15 when I played my first USCF rated game. And but what happened to me was that people took an interest in me, people that were like my grandfather's age. And they were who I didn't know either of my grandfathers, but they were of that generation. There were older adults that took me seriously, and they took some time to help me and did help me figure out what I had to work on to get better. And it was such an amazing thing to me, because what did we have in common, someone that age compared to a teenager? And it turns out we had chess in common. And it made a lot of difference to me. And I'm hearing that it made a lot of, just someone taking an interest in you had a lot of influence on your development. Warms my heart.
Right.
Yeah, and the intergenerational aspect of it too is something that I'm hearing. It's just because you're 9 or 12 or whatever, somebody took an interest in you. And think that that's part of the chess community. And the Eid Foundation is all about building a chess community. Wherever you are, wherever you're from, whatever language you speak, it's just the community sense. And it sounds like even when you went from Colorado to Virginia, you could find a community. But then when you get as good as you are, go ahead, please, Jason.
Speaking about the community, I really want to shout loud to a few chess clubs, and especially in Virginia, there are Arlington Chess Club, DMV Chess Club, and those chess clubs really inspire not only Jason but also a group of other young chess players. So to become chess experts later on, now they are becoming mostly, many of them becoming masters, national masters. Many of them went to colleges, and some of them, pursuing even the professional chess careers, become chess coach, etc.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm going to refer to. I think I answered all my producers' questions. Okay. No, one more. Jason's dad. This one's for you. What was the greatest challenge that you faced? And once you learned that Jason had the potential to become not only a national master but an international master, there must be some challenges to get him the opportunities he needed to advance. And what would you say were the toughest things that you faced?
Yeah,
I think as a chess dad.
Yeah, I think there are two major aspects. One is the financial challenge. The other one will be the challenge in terms of time, because just for my own job, is pretty time consuming. Yes. So chess wise, in order to be good, we have to devote a certain amount of time, right? And I think Jason overall has a really self-driven kind of passion in chess, and also meanwhile in school as well. Jason academically has been doing extremely well.
Good for you, Jason.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. But I think as a junior, so I think for me, it's mostly how to manage his time more effectively. I think we want to improve in chess, but we want to improve efficiently and effectively.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I'm not a strong chess player. So how to learn and how to instruct Jason to learn effectively, that's a challenging part. Yes. So we do involve some grandmaster level coaches. And I think we are fortunate to have their interaction with Jason. And while they are coaching Jason, and I try to make sure that I can observe and learn from my perspective as well. And this is mostly to watch, to find a way that Jason can manage his learning schedule well and choose the right tournament to play. And in the long run, I would say identify his critical weaknesses in chess and fix them.
Yes.
I think, I believe that Jason has a massive potential because he spent probably over 75% of his energy still in school. I think
yes.
He has not put his entire energy on chess yet.
Right.
Right. I think to the next level, I think especially if Jason can quickly claim his GM title, I would say I really want Jason to be a chess professional. It's my perspective, but it's up to Jason to choose eventually, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best because I dearly believe that Jason can become an elite player in the U.S.
Yeah. So Jason, do you feel like that's pressure on you, or do you feel like you have the choice to follow your interests and to do what you want to do with your life? Putting you on the spot here, right in front of your dad.
I mean, I guess it doesn't put any pressure particularly. Yeah, I'll just do whatever I feel like, I guess.
Yeah. And this is what I try to explain, when we do after school programs or in school programs when we can, the idea is not to make a whole bunch of new grandmasters, but to give them the benefits that chess teaches you. Chess teaches you when you're very young to sit still and think, and to postpone immediate gratification. Like you want to move your queen out really fast, and then you find out it gets attacked, and you're just stuck moving your queen again and again and again. That doesn't work. So these things are directly transferable back into the classroom. So I think it's an educational tool when you're young. And even if you go off in another direction in your adult life, it can still remain a part of your life, like it always did for me. I couldn't become a chess professional. I wasn't strong enough, but I also, always played. And when I couldn't play because my job was too demanding, I still played correspondence chess. So chess has been part of my life, even though I was never devoted to it the way that, even to the level that you are at now. Never had a coach, never had all of that kind of support system around you, the support that your father is giving you. But you think that you have what it takes to become a grandmaster. I could see it. And just the idea that you said, I was sick and I wasn't playing too well the first 2 rounds, but then I'm going to win the next 5. That tells me a lot about you, Jason. And you did it, because like Muhammad Ali once said, it isn't bragging if you can do it. So, and it's one of the things that it takes to be an exceptional elite player. So it sounds like you have the characteristics. Do you feel like you have not only just the chess ability, but the personality, the character traits to be a professional chess player?
I mean, I don't know if I do.
Uh-huh. That's part of the road of discovery, do you? And you put yourself in these tournaments and you're going to have bad outcomes and good outcomes. And how you react to both is going to be important lessons.
Mhm.
So can you think of the best success you've had so far and tell me a little bit about that?
Success? Well,
Like tournament wise.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you could put it 2 ways, because like when I was like 14 or 1500, I played like this, well, relatively small open tournament, but like I wasn't like even near the highest rated seed, and I went 5 out of 5 in that tournament and won like first place. So I guess you could say that one was pretty good, but that was at a different level. So
yeah, but that says something right then and there.
Yeah. Performance today is the Montreal IM Invitational, where I win like 6 out of 6 in the first 6 rounds against like players similar or better than me.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I ended at 7 out of 9, which was definitely not what should have happened. I should have got like more than that, but still a good performance. I got my first IM norm there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel afterwards? How did you feel after that result? You were probably kicking yourself because you didn't score 8 out of 9.
Yeah, I was.
I would have been ecstatic to score 7 out of 9, but I know that feeling of like when I got 4 points and I knew I should have had 4.5 out of 5 at the National Open or something, and that is what sticks with you. But that's where your discipline comes in. It's never going to feel good enough. You're always going to feel like you could have done a little better, but to also take pride and satisfaction in what you have accomplished.
Yeah.
Without it going to your head. You don't want to become this, ego boosted kind of guy that's walking around thinking less of the players with lower ratings. But you do want to become self-confident. And also, they say smell the roses, like, enjoy your successes along the way. Otherwise, it's going to just be work. And chess should be fun. Chess should be enjoyable. And is that the way you feel? That you, even though you put in such hard work, and it's tournament chess at the level that you're playing is hard, very difficult. Do you still think you're having fun doing it?
Oh yeah, of course. For
Yeah.
me, it's never felt like work.
Isn't that great? What do you think of that, Jason's dad? That's why you want him to
Yeah,
concentrate on this. You see the fun he's having too.
yeah. I should say that. Well, before playing chess, I involved Jason in learning piano for 2 years, and then all of a sudden I discovered chess, and then chess is so fun for Jason. He decided to give up playing piano. So this is one, and then well, because Jason started playing chess pretty late, so I was not able to involve him much in what use or work at that type of scholastic tournaments.
Hmm.
I do got opportunity to involve Jason in North American youth or North American junior
Right.
tournaments, which Jason did extremely well when he was 12 or 13 years old. Maybe Jason, you should talk a little bit about those two tournaments.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I guess that one could be like also one of my best performances.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
North American like under 12. Yeah, I got first place there. Actually, a better score, 8 out of 9.
That's awesome. That's really impressive. But let's go away from success. Like, you must probably, like most chess players, you remember the losses, the failures, the things that when you could have but didn't. And how do you react to something like that, a setback? How do you respond?
I mean, I guess at the time it's quite frustrating, but
Mhm.
I don't really think about it. I just try to forget about it and then just do better next time.
That's a remarkable statement, Jason. You're so much more mature than I was at your age, and probably more than I am now, because the frustrations were really a problem for me. And I know other players that a setback set them back much further than it should have, just because they didn't put it in the past and think about doing better in the future. So I'm so glad to hear that you don't hold on to, and because it is frustrating, because you could have done better, perhaps should have done better. But that's the life of a chess professional. You're never going to make, one good move, one bad move can ruin 40 good ones, as you know. Yeah. So, that happens to all of us. And the more you play, the more often you're going to experience that. But you can't let it stop you. You must persevere. You must keep going forward. And it sounds like you have what it takes. I'm so tickled to hear that, those types of response, because does take determination. It does take a lot of mental and personality characteristics as well as chess ability. And I'm thinking Jason's dad has raised a fine young man. Not just chess excellence, but school excellence. You haven't put chess. It's not just chess for you, and you may go in a different direction. You certainly have the ability to choose the direction that you go in. And if it is chess, I think the chess world will be better for it. Having met you both.
Yeah. Well, we feel thankful. I think we identified Jason's chess passion and some of his talent in chess as well. I think definitely both my wife and I agree that Jason has a good nerve in terms of the playing competitive chess. One example is that he recovered very quickly from losses, even over the same tournament. Like the past two GM normal invitationals, he did poorly during the first two rounds. He can still come back and become, joint first eventually and get some rating. I think if he had started well during the first two rounds, he probably have scored some GM norm already.
Yeah.
So
Well, that means you're made of sterner stuff than I was. Yeah, because I think that's really one of the keys. Your dad just identified one of the keys is not let a loss mid tournament. We saw this in the World Championship, Game 6. A loss took the challenger out of the match. And I don't think you would have had that kind of. I think you would have come back to Game 7 more determined to win than ever. And
Yeah,
that's what's needed.
Yeah, I could even release Jason's GM coach name. Jason was coached by Grandmaster Alex Linderman for a few years.
Oh, I know Alex. Yes.
Yeah, Alex characterized Jason as a grinder. When Jason was around 2200 USCF, he often, playing a very long game with equal positions and eventually grind his opponents down. So I think in those days we find that Jason really had the right nerve as a young player. At 11 years old, he barely used chess base in those days. He was just playing in the club, and and successfully become a national master without any proper training in doing chess tactics, for instance. He was just playing chess for a couple of years, enjoying the game itself. I did not use any scientific way in terms of the training Jason at home. And after Jason become a national master, following the advices from his coach, we start getting Jason into the real business, I would say. Treating chess not only like intuitively, but also as a research.
Right.
Using chess base, looking to other people's games is, start some proper level of chess tactical training. I think now we feel good. I think we feel that we know some of the aspects that Jason have weaknesses, and as long as we have
everyone, yes, and you concentrate on fixing them, right?
Especially for instance, when Jason was 13, he quickly earned all 3 IM norms, but after that, reaching 2400 FIDE reading was not that easy because of the consistency issue. And to overcome the consistency issues, for instance, Jason had to solve some of his weaknesses. I think along the way, we really feel that by solving those weaknesses, Jason should have gained some momentum in terms of the pushing his FIDE rating further up. So that's why I feel a little bit more optimistic that I think he should be able to reach the GM title because some of the resistance already got overcome while he was pursuing for his IM title, I think.
Yes. And the thing that I'm taking away from what you just said is that objectivity is one of the strengths of a chess master. Being objective about the games that you have actually played. That's why people who are overly emotional about a loss or take, a win, it makes them feel so grand. It's better to be steady, consistent, and objective. And the objectivity applies to your losses. You look at your losses, why did I lose? And if you see a pattern, you think, okay, this is something that I've got to fix. I've got to, I could identify my pattern. I don't understand this pawn structure. I understand this pawn structure and where my pieces go, but I don't understand this one as well. And it shows this strong opponent steers me into that direction because he's done research on me. And now I've got to fix that. I've got to be able to handle that. So the objectivity, it sounds like you're aware of and using to your advantage. So I wish you the best, absolutely the best in the future. I'm really proud to be able to give you the Arthur Award for this year. And the last question I want to ask you, because we're running over a little bit on time, is what do you think about using your ability to help the objectives of the E Foundation, building further communities? Do you think that that's part of your future? Building communities through chess. What can you do as a strong player already and maybe a stronger player in the future? Will that be part of your emphasis, part of your goals, is to maybe teach somebody else one day? Or how do you think you can fulfill that role as well as your own personal development be part of our chess culture?
Well, I don't really see myself as a teacher, that's for sure. Like I've tried, like, for example, even teaching my brother, but yeah, I'm not really the type of person to like teach chess, I would say. Although I have given like a lecture to
Mm-hmm.
this group of students in the DC area.
Mm-hmm.
I presented two of my wins against strong grandmasters via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's a great example. Yeah.
I also gave like an informal simultaneous exhibition at the university actually he teaches,
Uh-huh.
um, to just like 5 students. Um, I may do more in the future if they wish.
Yeah, yeah. As I could be wrong, but as I'm aware, in our area, upstate New York area, well, at least in our county, this county is called St. Lawrence County, and I think Jason is probably the only chess master. Um, so I think there's a lot of room in terms of improvement over scholastic chess. Uh, I think there's just so much work can be done locally. Uh, but because of the availability of Zoom and other tools, I think Jason definitely can also resort back to his old connectivities. I would say, like in DC area, that's where I and Jason lived for almost 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And also, actually, I lived in California for 3 years, where I was a researcher at Stanford University.
Oh, right next door to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel that to those places we can easily connect back to the chess community, and also I want to mention the chess community in Colorado as well.
Yes.
I think it is relatively easy for Jason to connect back to those communities, and for now, because Jason just turned 15, and also Jason is a freshman in high school, and we want to use his time more, let's say, effectively in terms of the
Yes.
competitive chess. Now, but I'm also a kind of USCF 1800 level chess player. I mean, in my county, probably, well, I'm one of the strongest chess players.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing to be ashamed of with an 1800 rating. That's class A. Yeah.
When Jason tried to give outreach activities, I will try to assist as well.
Yes.
So especially locally, if he tried to help out, I will go with him and then, help a little bit. For instance, over here we have a Clarkson University Chess Club, and I'm a faculty mentor for that club. And we just want to involve more chess players. And initially, they just play kind of practical games without reading. But
sure.
that some of them want to play in USCF rated games. And Jason's younger brother is a third grade in elementary school. His elementary school just started a chess club.
All right.
Relatively new, and
Yeah.
I think, so there's two boys and kind of getting more people into chess, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's a great note to end on. And Jason, I really shouldn't put the burden of it on a 15-year-old to say, what are you going to do in the future? Because really, you do have to work on your game now. Yeah, that's the main thing. And, you think about others, but all I ask is don't forget us when you get so strong that, just you can help others get to be, not everyone's going to be as talented as you are, but, the giving people a gift of chess is giving a gift that can last a lifetime. The educational value in schools when you're young, and the direct transfer into the classroom from the skills you learn at playing chess, and then the joy of just playing at a chess club, even if it's not rated. just the social aspect of it and all of that. And even when you get to my age, when you have aches and pains and doctor's bills to worry about, when you're playing about game of chess, you're not thinking about any of that stuff. So it's a game that lasts, a gift that lasts a lifetime.
Well, thank you, Jim, for the kind word. But I want to say that the past 6 years or so, and we really benefited from the real kind of booming environment of U.S. chess.
Yes.
And Jason was definitely not alone. And there are so many young chess enthusiasts and also adult chess associates have very positive impact on chess.
Right.
And one of the big reasons that we decided to spend more time in doing chess, in playing competitive chess, is because chess is fun. People around us are nice, good people, right? So we want to get along with them. So I think,
that's music to my ears. It's so nice to, and before I probably put it and a different note is that there is you face Jason's dad. You face financial challenges helping him get this strong already, and I'm sure you're going to face some in the future. Also, your time commitment is to be applauded. But have you had anybody come up and say they're going to help you financially? I know the Eat Foundation just did, but that was because of his essay.
Yeah. I think hopefully after Jason achieves his GM title, we can get some sponsorship. I think for now, really, Eat Foundation is the first sponsorship for Jason. I think,
Don't forget us, Jason.
Yeah. I think playing at the club level was not that expensive, but once he got more serious, like his pursuit of the IM title was not that easy. But it was relatively smooth. But just overcoming the consistency, identifying the weaknesses took some time. I think now it's really onto the GM norm tournaments and get proper training at home and with coaches. It's not that easy to travel out from our area.
Right.
So I think we have to plan the logistics, etc.
What is the closest airport to you that can get you anywhere?
A more
Syracuse, probably.
Yeah, a large one would be the Syracuse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is 2-hour driving and 2 hour and a half driving from home. Yeah.
Right. So that's a challenge too. Thank you both for joining me on the show, and I wish you both the best in the future. In whatever you do, Jason, I think you can do a great job. And if it's for chess, it'll be to all of our benefit. And I anticipate following some of your games live in the future. And thank you, Jason's dad, for all the support you've given him. And
my pleasure. Yeah, it's really nice meeting you, Jim. Talking to you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So I'm going to take you backstage now and play our exit video. And for viewers out there, I hope you are as appreciative of Jason and Jason's dad as I am. So goodbye for now. All right, that was the episode 55 of the Chess Files. The answers are out there. And I hope to see you soon. We'll have some interviews coming up. So be aware that the E Foundation is on the air.